this entire project, which just sort of happened. I don't know if I ever asked permission to do this, but here it is. The Fortress of Louisbourg again for the loan of the beautiful fog cannon, and ECBC and the County of Victoria for financial assistance. This is going to be, we're almost done. I was going to tell you though the 10 reasons, my 10 reasons for making this exhibit. But I could only think of 5. The first is that the museum's mandate mentions our attention to the role of the environment in the work of the museum. So it seems like it's natural that we focus on something, and what could be more logical than the weather. Number 2, many of the museum's artifacts have weather stories behind them, and so I wanted to bring those stories out to the forefront so people understand and see the connection more often. Lots of times when you look and read about historical situations, the weather is often not mentioned at all. It's like it's a weather-neutral world, and people go through their day. But every day, things are happening that tweak us one way or another. The weather is constantly adjusting our lives, and so I hope I've brought some of that forward. Reason 3 is that Cape Breton weather always sort of seems to tilt toward the spectacular and the sensational, so for that reason it's fun to do. Reason 4, because no one else has done this. There is no other museum in Nova Scotia which has an exhibit on the weather, and as far as I know, they never has. There are bits and pieces, like in the Maritime Museum of the Atlantic, where they talk a little bit about what happened with the Titanic, but still not one that focuses on the weather per se. And that probably applies to the Maritimes and perhaps all of Canada. I found there is one weather museum in Houston, Texas, and another one, I think, in Indiana that's struggling to get going. But this is not something that's very common, and it really surprises me. So I'm glad we have one here. And I think we should consider ourselves the weather capital of the Maritimes, maybe Atlantic Canada, maybe the world. I don't know. Go for it. No one else has made that statement. And the reason 5 is that it's because weather is the only thing I know how to do.